enough, this is not what we wish we were showing you. We wish we could focus on the peaceful protest that we saw all day. Instead, that overshadowed by the looting and the ransacking of these stores, the breaking in that continues at this hour. A live look right now from our news chopper for Bravo. Let's get up to Gil Labus. Gil, if you're with us, about what you're seeing here and exactly where this is happening.
Well, Jonathan, this is east up Broadway. This is Broadway and 9th Street. You're seeing one of these stores here. I'm trying to make out the name of it. We're going to try to move closer to it to get it, but I believe it says it's maybe a pharmacy that people have just broken into and are continuing to loot. They're going in and out. We're noticed that we're looking for the areas where there's a lot of cars. We'll see the cars pulling up here, and that tips us off for any area that's being looted. And sure enough, they're doing the same routine. Pulling up to the curbside, dropping off people, and they come back out like this person is doing right now with goods, and then taking them right to the cars and getting in the back seat. So that's what we're seeing here. I believe it's a pharmacy. I'll have to get more confirmation. It is a pharmacy.
It is called Tritechrx Pharmaceuticals, at least according to Google Maps, and that's what you're seeing people breaking into. And of course, this is a good distance from 4th Street, where we've been seeing the primary looting today, Gil. Police, I'm assuming, not in this area yet.
They're not at all. They're dealing with the smaller group down Broadway towards the beach, and you're seeing more and more people filtering out of that pharmacy right now. People coming out with a lot of product and departing. We're going to slide right, Jim, to get a little closer to the scene. But you see more and more people coming across the street, parking in different areas, and running into the store. The windows, it looks like the front door has already been shattered. I'll come in a little closer. You can see the glass on the ground there. Very typical of what we've been seeing yesterday and today as well.
And what's so typical we've been seeing for a few days is that method of operation where they use cars and they can move around quickly. They use the car, they drive right up like they're picking up goods, go in, grab stuff, throw it in the car maybe a couple times, and then drive off. And then earlier today, Gil, we saw cars with their license plates covered so that police could not get their license plate. And we saw someone who was actually ripping that off. He got assaulted by someone for trying to do an act of good, trying to take that cover off.
Yeah, that was very dramatic. We were worried about that bicyclist as he pulled that cloth off the rear license plate of that vehicle, and the suspect's inside the car jumping out and trying to beat the guy on the bicycle. He was able to get away and break free, fortunately, but time after time we're seeing more of this happening with the cars pulling up, and that is a good indication for us up in the air. We can spot that pretty easy. We look for those cars. Now look at, there's a couple of guys running off here, and it's probably because there's law enforcement on their way.
And Gil, as we stay with your shot, we want to let our viewers know that on the right side of your screen there is some ground video, looks like cell phone video, of the sake house there in Santa Monica near 3rd Street Promenade on fire at one point today. It's unclear, because this is not a live shot, about what the status is of that place, but set fire, we're assuming, by the people who've been breaking into these stores. And that's just an unfortunate situation, Kathy, as we've been seeing firefighters also having trouble getting into these areas because their own safety is at risk, and there's not enough, law enforcement support to help them put out all of these spot fires that we keep seeing.
Yeah, in certain situations, they might need protection. They might need police to go in first and clear the way. I don't know how blocked the streets are there, but yeah, we saw that one fire. And we also saw that car that was torched, that vehicle earlier, just go up in flames. So we've seen a couple of fires here and there. Nothing like we saw last night, and hopefully it won't happen, but we're 15 minutes away from the countywide curfew going into effect, and yet we're still seeing these businesses here that you see right here on the left-hand side of your screen being looted. A couple of them there, Jonathan and Gil, where we saw cars driving up and people coming out and taking what they could.
It amazes me how many people continue to pour out of this pharmacy, though, or what we believe to be a pharmacy here. It is just incredible, because this is several blocks, I believe about 5 blocks from where most of the police activity that we've seen are trying to stop looters along 4th Street. This is along 9th Court and Broadway, and they're nowhere near this scene. And as you mentioned, there you go, Kathy, they coordinate this, they come in cars, they kind of time it, and then they drive away. And we see one person here who appears to maybe be a civilian, someone who's just on the street, standing there, just kind of watching everything unfold, wondering